All right, so hopefully you guys have been having a absolutely fabulous day. Hopefully everyone's going pretty fun for the game for you. But today I did want to make my Should You Summon because I did want to take time with it. Also, again, shout out to homies on Beat Up from yesterday for absolutely helping me out massively with BLANC. I wanted to do some testing and I got it done. I checked out the character, saw how she is, and when I say checked out the character, we all know what happened. But still, I want to say this, right? So before you summon, just be aware of these things. Today I want to go over that. If you're new to the channel, like, subscribe, helps out a ton. Let's talk about it. Let's do it all. Let's check it out. Now again, I get these comments all the time. If you pull for every character, have fun. Why are you even watching this video? You want to just hear that you made a great decision? Is that what it is? Just like patting yourself on the back, like, yeah, I summoned for Waifu, and damn, is she Waifu? Oh yeah. But first, let's go through like the many points I have. I have like a list here, so I want to talk about all those points. First off, if you see any testing right now, if you do, all that testing, I will say, means something. At the same time, it doesn't mean anything, correct? And why is that? We do not know what she does with NOIR, right? We haven't seen it. We haven't tested what that, like, that new gap that maybe created is. Whatever you test right now, it's great testing. That may be the testing for you of saying, oh, I'm never going to pull NOIR, or I don't plan to pull NOIR, or luck may never allow me to pull NOIR. So what happens is whatever I'm testing here, that is what I'm getting from BLANC, right? And I will say she's an outstanding burst too. She is very good. I think that the main like focus of her kit is people are comparing her to Senti straight up, where I think she's great. I think she's an outstanding burst 2 character, and she will leave you with a lot of support. And her ult is great, right? Or burst, right? It is strong, right? When you pair that with somebody that can lower the cooldowns, you won't get what you can get with NOIR, right? We don't know what that is. We don't know what that creates. So first, before you like see testing and like plan the character out in that way, you have to wait, right? So theoretically, if you're wanting to see what gap and what things she can actually do and how good she can actually be, see what happens with NOIR, and then that makes you want to pull 2 characters, or makes you, or forces you to pull 2 characters. That's a thing. But again, if you're just planning to pull the one, just see what she does on her own. That's the thing you're getting. If she's like explosive with NOIR, then maybe reconsider where it's like, oh, maybe I should just pull both, so I'll just wait till they both get wishlisted or whatever, or pull one and then wishlist the other one. It depends, right? So that's just a quick point that I wanted to get across. Second, this point will take me no longer than 20 seconds. Waifu. Yes, if you pull for Waifu, she is a outstanding character. Her voice lines with the affinity is maxed out are wow. So if you want a character that is going to be pretty cool and waifu material, have fun. They're bunny girls. I can't say they're bunny girls, right? So that should have been the first point. That should have been across here. Both of them are bunny girls. They are great characters. Keep that in mind. So off that point, you win. So I can't say you win. You won. Have fun. Yes, they're a 2% banner. Yes, it's kind of worth it if you would want to pull the character. The negative is that they're a wish listable character. It's a new word I just created. So if you want to wait and then wish list them, you definitely can. They will be still on rate up, not a big rate up, but still a rate up. And in future content or in future progression, you will pull them. It will take you some time, but you will. So at the end of the day, that's also there. But I still think that for what they are getting underhyped at the same time overhyped. It's where people are either saying they're like broken insane or they're terrible. They're not. They're great. I will say not like broken just yet. I do want to do more testing, but they are freaking great. I think that both these characters have a lot of potential. And again, I want to wait and see what NOIR does with her. Do that as a correlation and then understand what the character is at her like best and at her worst and at like the mid, right? What I saw, she's a great support. She is. Look at her kit. She will help you. And at the end of the day, if you are trying to take on Gravedigger when you pull NOIR, yeah, Gravedigger is going to get slaughtered. It's true. Unless you already have a team that can do it, then reconsider. But I think for what this character is, her burst is like really the start of the show. And again, people always say this, and I want to make this clear also, that her burst may not even need to be used. If you just use her for what she is on the other parts, where you're kicking off the shield and you're kicking off the heal, try that plus other characters that are not NOIR, where you just don't use the burst 3, right? And I do want to see some people comment some teams down, so when I do some more testing with NOIR, I can find that, or rather with BLANC, and see what kind of I can do with teams. So if you want to comment down below a team that I should try and see what we can do and like make the character work, comment that right now. I'll test that out later. But I do think that that's a viable option. Though again, I want to test that, see how that goes, but that does make sense. On paper, that makes sense. If you use a character that innately reduces cooldown, you can try that too. Again, you won't get what you get with NOIR. You won't. That 20 second that you have of the burst, that's nuts, right? A 40-second drop in cooldown, whatever any other character in the game does, it will never be 40 seconds dropped, correct? So That's why testing has to occur, and we have to see what happens when we pair these two characters up. Remember, NOIR buffs a different meta. She's buffing shotgun meta, yeah? So already her team is getting, I guess you can say, cut down a little bit, because shotguns are maybe you don't use as much, or some content prefers it, some content doesn't. So at the end of the day, that's there too, right? So it fully depends on that, and that's where it also goes into like the talking point of what happens. So wait and see. But that's just a quick thing too that I did want to mention. And beyond this, what's next, right? As we always say, what's happening? We can't confirm. We don't know. Leaks can't show us anything, but we do know something, right? And the something that we do know is yes, there is a summer banner planned, right? At some point, they are probably limited characters because they're summer characters. So when that kicks off, if you're a whale and you are trying to limit your whaling, realize that you may have to whale there instead. These characters can be pulled whenever those summer banners kick up. We don't know when, we don't know how they're going to work, we don't know who they are. Who knows, right? But when those banners kick up, there's a high chance they're going to be limited. And if you are saving currency, which I know people are, they want to pull a limited character because they don't want to wait like a year to get it back. Again, that's there. But if you want to, that's an option. Beyond that, in July, in August, in September, whenever you want to say, there will be the NOIR collaboration. It's kicking off in the second half of the year. So at the end of the day, those are two big things that you may want to save for that will be limited, and they one won't return forever. One will return in 1 year. So remember that also when you add that to your list of things that you have to keep in the back of your head when you are pulling for these characters and you are doing all that. So I still think that they are good characters. They're bunny characters. They're great bait. Right after an anniversary, they are some outstanding bait. Right before a collaboration or limited banner, I think they did outstanding in screwing you mentally to summon. Both these characters, again, if you see the shooting animation, I don't know, dog. Right? We draw the line at some other sensors, but this is good, right? So at the end of the day, I think if you are pulling, you're pulling for a good reason, and you are getting a good character for it. She's a great burst too. We have to see what NOIR does at the end of the day, but I do think that BLANC on her own can make up some good team comps and really help you for a lot of content. So at the end of the day, to give you the pat on the back, all right, if you're summoning, have fun, have a blast with it. But again, if you are free to play, you can reconsider due to the fact that you may have to pull the other character and due to the fact that you can just wishlist them, right? At the end of the day, that's an option. And yes, I have pulled many characters that I've wishlisted that I skipped. I just recently pulled Lapis, and I'm so freaking happy. So at the end of the day, I think you have potential and room to save, and you have that ability. Go and do it. Save for what you want. But again, if you are making the decision to summon, you're not making a wrong decision. Great characters. If you also want to wait till the last day, as always, see what happens next. If we get any information beyond this point, which I don't think we will, because I do think that they may not launch a banner right away. So we'll have to wait till NOIR drops, and then 1 week into NOIR, and then when this is already gone, then we'll see it, right? Again, I also don't know why they didn't make this a 3-week banner. Like, NOIR kicks off next week, right? So why did you make this a 3-week banner so we have a chance to test them and at least 2-week overlap, right? And then just start the next banner afterwards? I saw no problem in that. They're sisters, right? No one's gonna complain like, oh, you made this a 3-week banner. Why? They're sisters. So like, if the last day of testing NOIR, we're like, oh, you know what? We just found a broken team, but BLANC is gone. Now what? Right? So it's like, what the hell? But they did it that way. Stupid, but they did it that way. So we'll see when that banner kicks up. But I do think you have potential here. Bunny Squad, create it, have fun. That's been it for me. Quick talk, and yeah, those are my points I wanted to get across.